Hey, once again, here we go, setting it straight with fam. This is me, Bobby B, and I got my boys here again. Mr. Jordan, Mr. Joshua here to bring the news like they gonna give it. Yes, sir. We got some good stuff today, guys. We're gonna talking about these new free agents. Oh, yes, sir. Them Dallas Cowboys went on and signed some stuff. They went on to put that pen to that paper, man. Woo! This is something, we've been doing some things. We ain't used to this, man. We ain't used to this. You know what I'm saying? But we doing something right now, and we're going to go ahead on, you know what I'm saying, and talking about all of those guys that we brought in there. It's going to be good, man. You know, what y'all guys think, man? You know, for one, we got the George Pickens, you know what I'm saying? Got that out the way. Got the Digazua. You got the P.J. Lockett signing, the Jalen Tompkins, the Kobe Durant, Rashawn Gary, P.J. Lockett, Jalen Thompson, man, and a slew. Man, can you believe that, man? When we doing all this, you know what I'm saying? Got all of the defenses, you know what I'm saying? And all the head, you know, the defensive coach coming in. They did good on that. You know what I'm saying? Now we got some players that start plugging in those players, and see if we going to match that talent with the coaching. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to take two, man. Coming from number 30, should I say 33, the number 33 in the league in defense. Should I say 33? Because we was off the charts. Because it's almost NFL record levels horrible. But you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? We about to make some changes. I know we're gonna make some changes. I know you guys think there are some good things that they have taking place right now, and we're gonna talk about those guys. We're gonna talk about the latest of what Dallas Cowboys has done in this free agency. So we're gonna bring y'all guys up to par. So, but before we start, you know what I'm saying, before we get there, I want y'all to go ahead and look down there, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button if you're there. I know I'm going to say it at the end, but I need y'all to do that right now so we can go ahead and get started with this right here. So we're going to go ahead and start. And so I don't know who we're going to start with this. Are we going to start singing that? It's so hard to say. I know we're going to do that to say goodbye. So
We're gonna play taps.
huh? We're going to play taps?
So they're gonna play taps.
Are we going to play?
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. So who's going to talk
I
about
don't
that?
think I don't think I don't think that can get copywritten, right? Taps.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Nowadays, you happy birthday and you can get copyrighted. Hey, but
That is
anyway,
correct.
so the news report is this. Osa Digizua traded. I know it was kind of left ambiguous in the beginning because we'll just say this: we do no longer have Osa Digizua and are on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys has traded Osa Digizua to the Green Bay
Ops.
Packers
Oh my
for a
goodness.
third
Here we go
round pick,
again.
number
They
92 to
traded
be
Osa
exact.
Odigizua to the San Francisco 49ers.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. I said Green Bay Packers. No, we're all over the place
But
today.
you're still thinking about Mika.
Yeah.
You're thinking
Exactly.
about us
San
trading
That's what I'm
Francisco,
like
trading everybody to
again.
our
excuse me,
ops.
the San Francisco 49ers
Right.
for a third round pick, number 92 to be exact. You know, this is both good and bad at the same time. I think it's more. I think San Francisco won this trade. If you ask me, but if you're a draft fiend, then you probably think the Dallas Cowboys have won the trade because they picked number 92. Because now they have pick number 92. But yeah. So I to my understanding, I think they were thinking of when it came to money and him being a $21 million cap casualty. They were going to they viewed him not as a starter, so at least for their scheme that they had, because they had Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, right, uh, in the middle, so they knew that he was more of a tweener, so he fit more of a 4-3 scheme. So yeah, I think he's going to be better suited for the 49ers, unfortunately. And now Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott has another, weapon to look, uh, a weapon or against the ops to look forward to, which is probably not going to look forward to for that. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Jordan, do you think this is a good move? We got rid of Oso?
I don't know, cause I mean, yes and no, but I mean, first of all, I just want to say like Osa Odigizua has been like an Iron Man for our defensive front. He's played 84 out of 85 possible games since he's been with us for 5 seasons. He's been an
Healthy.
elite. Yeah, he's been healthy, ready to rock and roll. He's been an elite pass rush generator since his rookie season in 2021. He had, uh, I think he ranks amongst fourth with 81 QB hits amongst defensive tackles, only trailing I think Chris Johnson and maybe that guy over there in the Giants. And then in 2025 he finished
Dexter Lawrence.
yeah, he finished his Dallas. He finished amongst defensive tackles in the. Hold on.
So yeah, so I just the thing is the thing is this is that uh Osa is unfortunately I thought he would have been nice because you need depth. Like, but here's the thing though, you are not gonna pay $21 million for a person that's gonna be on the depth, right? He's not gonna be a backup. But it'd be a really nice backup, but you're just not paying that type of money. Could they have restructured it? But I'm guessing from what they're from my understanding, I don't think the juice is worth that much of a squeeze. So what they did was like they were like, hey, like we need to allocate some space for our cap because I understand that we're underneath it. So we need to allocate some space for our cap just in case for another potential gravity signing. And who knows that this signing can be somebody that's already on the team, like your George Pickens or your Brandon Aubreys of the world, right? So you just don't know. Maybe they were making space for them, but unfortunately, now you have one less of a weapon, and then that weapon that you had now is going towards the ops, which is the San Francisco 49ers. So unfortunately, that's just the way how the NFL business goes. Um, so as Jordan was talking about, it's both good and bad. You uh, freed up your salary cap, but I mean, at what expense? Some people call this like a whack a mole for the Dallas Cowboys free agency, but it
Right,
is what it
right,
is.
right. Okay, all right, all right. So I know you had to go real quick, Jordan. But you want to say anything else before we go to anything else on that Osa?
Nah, basically, like the only thing that I don't like about this trade is that they went to the 49ers. I feel like if you're gonna send them to the 49ers, try to get more out of it. Like if you're gonna send them to a team that's gonna constantly beat you in the playoffs, and Green Bay Packers and 49ers have been like and the Rams have been our biggest rivals when it comes to getting to the playoffs. If you can't, why are you gonna go and make them better? That's
Do you
the
think it was?
part
Do
that
you think there should have been like a conference tax
yeah, like if I'm gonna give them to the 49ers, if you guys want also the Exua, I want a second and a third, or I want a second
and
round pick, or I want to
a
yeah,
player and a third?
or I want a third and a fourth. Like I'm not just gonna give you Osa Digizua for a third. Like Osa Digizua is gonna be better than any third round pick that anybody gets especially at D tackle for the next 4 or 5 years. So the fact that they gave him to the 49ers for basically nothing. I mean, and his contract is a franchise friendly contract. So the fact that they just gave him up to the 49ers is that's the only thing that I don't like. I knew that as soon as Christian Parker came on and he started talking about his schemes and scheme fits, and he started talking highly about Kenny Clark,
Everybody
that it
but
was
Osa.
yeah, it was like, oh, where's Osa gonna fit in this 3-4 scheme? So he was kind of the. I was hoping that I mean I would even kept him on for one more season just to see how he could fit in the 3-4 scheme. Maybe he goes out wide. He goes out wide, but Osa is kind of a tweener where he's not really a defensive tackle, but he's not as big or as heavy, and he's not as great in the run as some of you want your Kenny Clarkson, your Quentin Williams to be of run stuffers, but he is super great at beating one on ones and getting pressure and getting sacks. Um, but he's not an edge guy. He's not a real edge guy either, just because of his weight. But I would have tried to see if he could slim down just a little bit. Hey, if you can cut to 270 or 260, see what he could do. But
On the
no,
outside?
you're gonna go and yeah, you're gonna go ship him off to the 49ers. So now they got Oso Digizua and Joey Bosa, or one of the Bosas over there. So it's like, wow. Well, they got better with Fred Warner. Like, come on.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, so looking at this list of free agency, because that's what we're going to be talking about today, and what we have, what we picked up, the skill level and everything. We're going to go break that down for us today, for you guys to let everyone know who are the ones we got, who did we pick up, and what kind of, if anything, that comes along with the benefits that come along with the package. And so, who you guys want to go over first, and let's see who we can.
So I will say this, right, and we're going to start with Jalen Thompson. But before we do that, I kind of want to like say this: a person I am, everybody knows if you've been watching the show, I'm probably one of the biggest critics of the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to anything, right? I'm always like I'm very judgmental, but I will say
Pessimistic.
this: they are moving differently. They're moving differently, and they are for the people they call it the garbage bin shopping, the garbage shopping, because they always wait till like the last minute to get free agents, but they started doing everything in the beginning, and or a lot of things in the beginning by getting your safeties of the world, like your Jalen Thompsons of the world, which
Right.
a lot of people are saying are great pickups, man. Like he has I mean there's some stuff like, I mean, while he's not like
You talking about Jalen
a
Thompson?
Jalen Thompson.
Okay.
Why he's not a pro? Why he's not a like a the what do you call him? Not the pro. He's not in the Pro Bowl, but I would say the elite all pro, I should say, but he does have some elite traits, right? So, I mean, some of his areas of strength that he has is like what his elite instincts and processing. This is something that you hear a lot of what Christian Parker talk about. Like he wants those players that are football smart, right? That have that high football IQ, right? Who knows football, right? He quickly diagnoses route concepts and QB intentions, right? Yeah, he anticipates throwing lanes, right? Allows him to jump routes and he disrupts timing. That's where you're getting those interceptions from. I think he had like what, three interceptions or a couple of, he had a couple of interceptions last year. He's also his range is very good when it comes to deep coverage, right? So he has those, he doesn't have stiff hips, if you will, right? He has those fluid hips, right? He has a good long speeds. It gives him like the ability to cover ground from middle of the field, and he's effective, right? In both single and single high and split safety looks, and that two high looks and that single safety looks. You want that versatility, and that's one of the things that Jalen Thompson's good at. He can play free safety. He plays strong safety, or
He
he
can
can
play
even
nickel. He can
go the
play slot.
nickel,
Yeah.
right? It's a slot, right? The overhanging defender, right? He's comfortable rotating post snap, with help disguise and coverage, and that's something that Christian Parker is pretty good at. He wants the defense to be multiple. And that's one thing that Jalen Thompson is like. If there was something that in the backfield where what Christian Parker want, Jalen Thompson is that picture perfect guy who can play multiple, right? He's also good at tackling, right? He's consistent when he wraps up the space. He like rarely misses open field tackles, right? He's pretty good with run support, right? He's pretty aggressive when he's running downhill, right? And he takes great angles when he's finishing the run from depth. And once again, his football intelligence is superb, right? He communicates well with corners and linebackers. That's something that you didn't see from the Dallas Cowboys defense. Everybody didn't know, or nobody didn't know what to do, right? There was no communication at all. And when it comes to communication, he's a great communicator, right? He adjusts to the motions and route combinations and pre snaps. And one of the biggest things I like about him is his motor, right? His motor and competitiveness. He's high. He's a high effort player. This is
Mm.
something. This is the person that you want from Christian Parker, right? Some of the questions that need to be addressed, right? As I said once again, he's not an all pro, right? So his ball projection consistency, right? So while his instincts are strong, excuse me, while his instincts are strong, his but his interception totals have not always matched those opportunities, right? So he has great instincts, right? But sometimes the product is not matching with how good his IQ is, right? Because of the fact he plays with such a physical style, right? Sometimes it's lead him to miss some times because of how hard he hits. So I mean, that's one of those things. So his play strength is not he's not the biggest safety of the world, right? So which can show up when taking on blocks from tight ends or other pulling linemen, and his top end recovery streaks. While his range is good, right? He doesn't always have elite recovery speed if he's beaten initially. So there's something that to look at. And then his because of his aggressive play, sometimes you tend to get penalties in that aspect. But all in all, this guy is the prototypical person that you have with your 3-4 scheme with 4-3 spacing that Christian Parker wanted, right? He's really good. He spin down to the box and run blocks. And one of the biggest things is he can rotate into single high when corners play press. That's something that he can be in the backfield alone in the backfield, and that's a really good trick to have.
That's
He's
real good.
the Yeah, so he's like the glue that holds everything together, and that's
Right.
what you want, and that's why the Cowboys were very intent on signing this guy.
Oh, that's some good stuff then. Well, I mean, it sound like Jordan. You got anything else to say to him? Because it sounds like that's a very a huge step up of what they did on the signing. It does seem like that was a really good signing,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Oh yeah, I mean Josh, he done said it all. So yeah, I don't think there's much left to say. So yeah, he's a great box safety. He's very like the scheme is gonna be very multiple. So he's able to be versatile. I think all the safeties that are going to be on this team are going to have to be versatile. They're going to be able to have to play in the box. They're going to have to be able to play free. They're going to have to be able to play nickel slot. So yeah, so Jalen Thompson, he fits that. I think the biggest thing about Jalen Thompson is that he averages 100 tackles a
Mm,
year within his career, and I think he's missed. I think his missed tackles is like sub 6%, so he doesn't really miss tackles. So I think in a scheme where we missed a lot of tackles last year, and you had a lot of running backs, even if they're able to get to the second level, third level, at least you have a guy back there who's going to knock them off the field. So yeah, Jalen Thompson is a really good pickup, a solid starter if he's going to be the starter. Who knows? You have Bell still out there. We're going to talk about some of the other guys we lost, but Thompson's a great pickup.
okay. All right. Who do you guys want to see next? Who y'all want to discuss next? Because we have a lot, like what, 4 or 5 of people that we kind
so
of moved in.
we could stay in the backfield, right? We'll go from the back all the way up to the defensive front. How about that?
Okay. Who you want to see
So
next?
we'll
We'll talk about
we'll
next.
we'll we'll talk about PJ Lock. All right. So um PJ Lock here. I mean, if do you want to start, Jordan, or do you want me
No,
to
you
do it?
got it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So PJ Lock, I mean, obviously this is not the guy that he's not I mean, they play two different roles, right? But PJ Lock is your better um I wouldn't say better box safety. I wouldn't say that, but like
I think
he
he's more
comes in.
depth.
Yeah, he comes in as depth. Like this dude, he can hit. He's coming from the Broncos, so you know the type of players the pedigree that they're about, right? This guy's he plays downhill. He's an aggressive mentality. He's not afraid to fill the alley against the run, man. He can hit. He can hit. With that being said, he's a reliable tackler. He consistently wraps up in space. Once like you guys are you're gonna see a bunch of consistency here when I talk about a lot of these players that the Cowboys got in free agency. These are these are a lot of Christian Parker signings, right? So he pretty much he does not allow a lot of yak at all. Like his run support ability is pretty good. He reads the run keys quickly. He's effective when playing as a box safety, right? That is your box safety, right? He can also, I know on the Broncos, so just in case if he's not like starting, he also brings special teams value, right? So he is a strong backer as a core special teams contributor, and he brings tough ones. So one of those type of people like the who's that safety that like just caused that fumble against the Eagles. I don't even have it in my head, but this dude can hit. Like he is the kid. Like he, I want to say this. Uh, Donovan Wilson, like he's a better Donovan Wilson, right? Yeah, I know Donovan Wilson wasn't a box safety; he was supposed to be a free safety. Am I right, Jordan? But yeah, like I think he played box safety. Donald did a little last year, but this dude can hit the ball. It's not hit the ball. He can hit players who has the ball. Excuse me, and he has some versatility when it comes to sub packages. He can rot. He can like Jalen Thompson can kind of rotate between strong safety and box safety, and he in the dime packages he can fulfill that linebacker role in dime packages, right? And so his and once again, just like Jalen Thompson, his football IQ is pretty good. He understands like the responsibilities of each defender. He understands the why, if you will, right? And he's comfortable making checks in the secondary. So he's a great one. He's also a pretty good communicator. Jalen Thompson, great communicator. PJ Locke, good communicator. Donovan Wilson, struggle as a communicator. Malik Hooker, while he communicates, I don't think he's as strong as a communicator as these two gentlemen over here, right? Some of the questions though that we I have about PJ Locke, right? His deep coverage range. So he's more effective near the line of scrimmage. So they're going to put him at the box, right? So which is good. But if you once you start putting him in the back, you know, uh, you're gonna start to see where his limitations are, right? His range is a little more limited when it comes to that aspect, right? This guy is he's more effective against the zone, but when it comes to man coverages versus like people like the George Pickens is of the world, CD Lambs of the world, he kind of struggles, but who doesn't struggle, right, against those? It takes elite defenders to guard those players, right? His Robert Chunks' interception and takeaway numbers haven't been like the best in the world, but they've been pretty good. But they haven't been the best in the world. So you want them to have more opportunities when it comes to uh, takeaway, and so we want to see while he's on the field, turnovers get a little bit, or his productivity get translated to turnovers, right? Um,
Okay.
Unlike Jalen Thompson, he doesn't have top end speed, but he while he has good initial speed, good acceleration, but the top end speed is good. So this is why it's good to have him in a box. So while I'm saying all this stuff, um, the limitations, but if he's playing it as a box safety, I mean, you're not going to need that top end speed, right? So, but he's a really good box safety, but he can go to the strong safety. Um, and ultimately speaking, if you have a dime package, you can also fill the linebacker role. So, for what he's called to do, I think he's going to be a really good fit for what the Dallas Cowboys does.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everything Josh said is on point. But I just think that he's just going to be more of a rotational piece.
Yeah,
He's gonna be more. I think he's gonna be able to get on the field, but I think they brought him in for that, and he's going to be a special teams guy. So I think he's going to be able to do both. So, and then again, Christian Parker is familiar with them. He's familiar with Christian Parker. That's probably why he ended up in Dallas. So, yeah, Christian Parker's just building out this team to fit his scheme. So, we'll see.
All
All right,
right.
now I'm gonna talk about
Kobe.
our number two cornerback on the team.
Ah, so
Kobe.
as Jordan was saying, the number two corner. So we had behind the scenes, we had a discourse here on what Kobe Durant's going to be. Like Kobe Durant is, he was your starting corner, not your. He was a Rams starting corner, um, all the way up to the NFC Championship, right? So, and he was doing pretty good when it came to that, right? He had a couple of faux pas, but ultimately speaking, he had a I don't want to say a great year because that's I'm overselling it here. He had a pretty good year last year, right? So some of the things that I like about him, right, is his instincts, just like Jalen Thompson, just like you're gonna keep on seeing this uh, uh Christian Parker's likes a certain type of player. And the funny thing about Christian Parker is, I mean, it's not Christian Parker. The funny thing about these players are they're not like the tallest in the world, but they have, while they lack in your measurables, as far as like length goes, they're succeeding when it comes to football IQ, right? So his instincts, he has a like strong feel for locating the football in the air. Uh, he when it comes to like breaking to the ball, he is very quick to that, leading to pass breakups and turnovers. Right, I believe he did have 3 turnovers last year. So like these are one of those things that where his productivity is great when it comes to those breaking on the ball speed. Right, just like Deron Bland, just like Jordan Lewis. I think he's just the other. He's what he the Dallas Cowboys wants him to fill the void, for my understanding, of what Jordan Lewis was. This is your nickel corner. He has very twitchy. He's a very twitchy athlete with excellent lateral movement. He can mirror receivers effectively in short and intermediate routes. Right, so um, he is one. That's what I'm saying. These are traits for a slot corner, if you will. Right, he's pretty good. So as I said ago before, with these safeties, when they didn't have that recovery speed, Kobe Durant has that recovery speed, right? He has that. Even if he's initially being, he's going to get to the receiver very quickly, right? He's very versatile. So like, um, while you want him in the slot, he succeeds a lot better in the slot. Like he's been known to be on the outside perimeter with the Rams too, and he succeeds very well at that. And then the most important thing is his football IQ. His football IQ is phenomenal. He recognized route combinations very well. So like once like the way how his receivers position, where he's gonna go, like where he's gonna go to. So he's pretty much jumping the routes right before the receiver does, right? And he's one of those cornerback that understands leverage and spacing and zone coverage, right? So because of that, right, the reason why he had to do that is because of his size and length, right? Unfortunately, he does have a smaller frame, right, which can kind of be a disadvantage when it comes to those larger and physical wide receivers, right? And can also struggle with receivers who high point the ball. George Pickens. But good news is George Pickens is on the Dallas Cowboys, so he doesn't have to worry about that too much, right? His play strength at the catch point, sometimes, once again, when it comes to bigger receivers, when it comes to length and physical attributes, if they're high pointing the ball, that's something that he's lacking in. While his effort is good, but when it comes to like shutting Brock's in the run game, he can kind of like be a little iffy on that, right? Um, and sometimes smaller corner, because of the fact that he's smaller, sometimes you do have to worry about the injury issue. But he isn't. I think he started all 17 games last year, right? So I think he's perfect though for this scheme fit, right? He's going to be like your nickel and slot corner, and he's going to be your matchup coverage defender. And when it comes to zone, this dude is going to be unmatched, right? So he's going to be your better zone defender when it comes to your backfield.
Nice. So is he? So he's your number two receiver, or number one corner, or number two corner? Where you got him?
Okay, so
You got him over Bland.
I do not have him over Bland.
You don't
I
have
do
him
not.
over Bland. Oh
I do not
wow.
have him over Bland.
Oh
But as
wow.
he had a better season than Bland, all things
So he's over
considered.
Bland. So he's over Bland.
Uh, I mean, look, if you're going just by last year, then yeah, like I like that he's over Bland. But you know how good Deron Bland can be. This dude made NFL history with the most pick sixes, right? I will say this until we seen otherwise. I know he's definitely over Siobhan Ravel, but I mean that can be changed. That can change like neither because he's like well, he was 1 year removed from his ACL injuries that he had. So who knows how good Siobhan Ravel can be? But the good news is that if Siobhan Ravel is not up to snuff, you can put him to the outside. So it's not like um you're uh you're hurting too much. But that's if the Dallas Cowboys don't draft another cornerback. He
Where,
doesn't
where,
stop. They don't. Go
no,
ahead.
no. I was just about to ask Jordan, where do he feel? Because you were saying that you didn't believe that. You think Joshua was thinking that he was better than Bland. Where do you see him at?
Josh was thinking a whole lot
I was just
when we
for
first
the sake of
when we
argument. I was
first
just being argument.
when we first signed this dude. Josh was thinking, oh, I was thinking, oh, they signed Jordan Lewis. Is how
That's
I
what I was
felt
thinking
when they
too.
said.
I said he's now your starter, but like
That's not what you said.
I literally that
You
was my
actually
first thing.
shot
I said
down when I
he's
said
I said
I think
Dallas
he's
Cowboys has
Jordan
now
Lewis.
found a starting cornerback. That's what I said.
Yeah, well, I think he's Jordan Lewis basically, and that's what he'll be for the team. Of course, Siobhan Ravel is not. I mean, Siobhan Ravel to me is a
Proven.
better outside quarter, but again, he's just a second year corner, so he's not proven. So you know he's gonna have to. We're gonna have to see in training camp to see them fight it out. Um, so we'll see, and then even Bland's gonna have to prove himself. Going to have to fight out. Even though I put more stock in Bland because I've seen Bland for what 3 years now or 4 years now.
Yeah, he's more a little bit more consistency. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been more consistent outside of everybody being inconsistent under Matt Eberflus. So I chalk up everybody on that Dallas Cowboy team, unless your name is Kenneth Murray. I chalk everybody.
Yeah.
I chalk I chalk it up for everybody as it was a Matt Eberflus more than it was him. Unless your name is Kenneth Murray. So yeah. I
Said
think
name.
it also on the. I think I think it was a great pickup. We need depth. We need depth at the corner position. Um, and the Dallas Cowboys, whether it be Christian Parker or whether it be Shoddy or whether it be Jerry Jones, they're all working in tandem to fill out this depth the depth on this roster, which also keeps leading us to speculate who are their top prospects, who are their top NFL prospects. So, and then we're gonna get even to more now that we're gonna talk about Rashawn Gary.
Yeah. So you want me to start with Rashawn Gary?
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Scout man.
So Rashawn Gary. I'm gonna tell you about his strengths and weaknesses, but then I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell us how you originally felt.
Okay. So
That's what the people need to know.
all right, I will say this for I was not happy with the signing
No,
only because
really. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
only
ahead.
because only because I was like, man, you had Max Crosby right there and you didn't but I didn't have all the information. I didn't know that Dr. Cooper was, doing his thing over there. So like I didn't know. And who knows? But I really wanted Max Crosby. I thought that Max Crosby and Quentin Williams would be crazy. And I still think that Max Crosby is because I will say this, like I was saying before. Max Crosby's of the world, your Micah Parsons of the world, your Miles Garrett's of the world, they will excel at any system. They're your elite defenders. They're elite edges, right? And then they're like your top tier of edge defenders. No matter what the scheme is, they're gonna cause havoc. Like they're the type of players that you will change your scheme to fit them, right? No matter if you're 3-4-4-3, like, hey, I'm the only reason I'm doing, like, for instance, I believe that they did a 3-4 scheme of 4-3 spacing because of Quentin Williams. Like, I really do believe that because Quentin Williams he's an attacker, and while I think he will succeed in a 3-4, but I think you get the all pro out of uh Quentin Williams because of that with that 4-3 spacing, right? So I'll start with that. However, when it comes to the 3-4 scheme with 4-3 spacing, right? Um, at the end, I'm going to tell you the reason why I think he's probably the best signing for that. I think he's the best player that fits in that specific role, right? So let me just go with this. I mean, he does have elite physical traits, right? He's a rare blend of like power, explosiveness, and size, right? He has that exceptional first step, unlike Mozzie. I mean, all these some of these other defenders, right? He has a power pass rush, and I know it's apples and oranges. He has a power pass rush, so he's one of the better pulled rushers in the NFL. He can collapse the pocket even when he doesn't win clearly because of that bull rush, right? His versatility on the defensive front, so he can line up as a 3-4 defender, a 3-4 outside linebacker, or he can go as a 5 tech, right, and sub package, 5 tech defensive end, or he can even go in into his interior rusher and sub packages. This flexibility, like, pretty much allows him to pretty much be everywhere. And it's great for this type of scheme, right? His run defense. I think this is the reason why they Cowboys got him. I think it's overkill because everybody's been talking about the run game, 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 right?
As
This
they
dude.
should.
So right, I think they just it was kind of overkill. So like, I think they while he's a okay pass rusher, he's borderline elite when it comes to run defense. Excuse me. Pretty much uses length and leverage as far as that goes, and he has a really great motor. Um, there was towards the end of the season last year where people were saying like he was kind of giving up. I don't believe that, right? You know they didn't think that he has good hustle, but I saw like in my when I was looking him up like online when I was seeing all the games that he always had pretty good hustle. So I don't know what they were talking about. He can fit. He's kind of flexible, almost like it's almost like the O's a little bit, but I think he's better for this. He can fit 3-4 fronts. He can be in 4-3 or it can be in a hybrid, which is what this is. This is a hybrid scheme, and this is why he's the prototypical hybrid outside linebacker or defensive end, right? And he can pretty much generate disruption. Like he can do pressures, he can do hits, he can collapse a pocket, right? And even when a sack, even when his sack totals fluctuate, right? He's still causing pressure. He's still causing disruption within the how do you say within the pocket for the quarterback. Some of the questions that we need to see from him, actually, to be honest with you, it's just this consistency. A lot of people are talking about his consistency with the sack protection, right? So we're talking about like, okay, when Micah Parsons was there, this dude was getting sack upon sack upon sack. Now that he's gone, all right, what happens in the sack? Because I think it's after like the 10th game, he just didn't have any sacks after that, but he did have 7 sacks beforehand. He was just causing. But remember, Dallas Cowboys has Quentin Williams, right? So I mean, you definitely can take with that what you will, right? He did have an ACL injury a couple years back, um, but he should be back up to snuff right now. So when it comes to pad level, he kind of hits high. You don't, as a defender, right? You want to have a low pad level. You have more success when it comes to low pad level. All you defensive ends out there, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And then sometimes when it comes to finish plays, he will once again he's very good with the pressures, but you really want the sacks. But I have news for you. Christian Parker cares more about the pressure and the disruption more than a sack. So he fits the scheme perfectly when it comes to that. And
Okay.
sometimes in the 3-4 front, sometimes the outside linebacker drops in the coverage um, when it comes to 3-4 base. And sometimes he kind of struggles with dropping in coverage as far as outside linebacker goes. But I think he's going to play the 4-eye anyway. So, you know, so that's pretty much my
Assessment.
yeah assessment for him. But this is the reason why I think he's perfect for this 3-4 scheme with the 4-3 spacing, right? You because of this, you want a hybrid edge, right? So the typical hybrid edge traits like they're 6'4", 6'6", between 265 to 280 pounds, right? And they have long arms and they have an explosive lower body. He has all those traits, right? Um, he's built like a 4-3 defensive end, but he moves like a 3-4 outside linebacker. And then he's strong enough to he has a strong enough anchor versus the run. So all those traits, that's something that you want in a 3-4 uh 3-4 base with the 4-3 spacing. He is the guy. This is the reason why they got him, besides the run, right? So he can play stand up or he can put his hand in the dirt. So either way, he's going to be successful. right? So speed to power works best in wide alignments, right? In a 4-3 spacing structure, right? Edges often line up wider, so they're wide up in the 7 tech or in the wide nine. Uh, Rashawn Gary is actually pretty good. He's actually really good when it comes to that. He's out pretty much successful. Usually, when the wide nine is, you're usually having one defender, right? And he can pretty much go past one defender because of that speed and that wide nine. He's actually being pretty successful, right? And when it comes to those doubles, so when Micah Parsons was gone, you were getting that tight end help or whatever, that was or that extra help towards uh Mika Parson as opposed to the other side where he didn't have that much help. So he was up in the wide nine and he was being successful. So we actually do have players out there. So that way they're gonna look at Quinton Williams. They're gonna look at Kitty Clark, right? So they're gonna develop more uh bodies to the inside so that way he's gonna have that one-on-one matchup, right?
Right.
Um
Okay.
so that speed plus bull rush, right? And that pocket that is perfect for this. And he has elite run edge for early downs too. So that's something that you would want in that's 3-4. He is the prototypical guy when it comes to the 3-4 base with 4-3 spacing.
Got you.
So this is a really good signing.
All right.
It's borderline better than Jalen Thompson.
Okay, Jordan, what you
Wrap
got?
it up.
Yeah, I know,
Go
right?
ahead and wrap it up.
You too much.
Yo, Josh loves Rashawn Gary, guys. All right, he's a great scheme fit. Christian Parker guy, again. You knew him in Green Bay. Another great pickup. You could still upgrade the position if needed in the draft, so it could be easily a depth piece. And again, he stops the run. So what do the Cowboys lack at doing? Stopping the run. What is Rashawn Gary good at? Stopping the run. What is he not so great at? Pass rushing. But what is he? Is he a consistent pass rusher? Yes, he averages about 7.5 sacks a game.
Yeah.
Good pickup.
Right. Yeah. But one thing else, when I was looking at those videos, those videos were pretty much showcasing his ability to rush the passer, right? And I was looking and see, we're gonna have to find some videos for him actually, clogging up that run, with his strength. What I'm saying, what we will, I'm sure they probably went and pick him up for, but the videos when I was seeing, I'm like, okay, let me see something, that shows his strength. But it's going to be interesting to see Rashawn Gary how he's turned out, and I'm getting kind of happy. I don't want to get too excited of everything that we picking up, but it does seem promising. I know that because we were so far in the hole, even though we having some good pickups, how far we getting out of those holes, how far are we going to make it out is something else. So it's going to be very interesting to see that. So you know, other than that, who you guys feel that is going to be the next one we're talking about today? Who's the other pickup that we haven't talked about so far?
I mean, the last one that we have is that we can talk about is Otito, which he's going to be Otito. I'm going to say this wrong. Otito, uh,
Bagnia,
Abagnia,
Bagnia.
right? People call him Tito for short, right? He's not going to be your starter. So a lot of these things, he has probably a little bit more questions than he does as far as strengths goes a little bit, but this is your backup for Kenny Clark, if you will, right? He's like the anchor versus run. He has elite run stopping ability. He's gonna plug that hole. Like he is the prototypical nose tackle for a 3-4 front, right? He's the build like if you're asking what a nose tackle looks like, that's Otito, that's Tito, right? 6'4", 320 pounds. I mean, this dude's a trash can, if you will, right? And this is what you want. You want somebody to plug that hole,
Mhm.
right? Or holds so that way, like they're not going through, right? He uses his length and mass to occupy pretty much those gaps, if you will, and multiple people, right?
Yeah.
His gap discipline is phenomenal, right? He stays disciplined, which is good. There's a lot of times where you see like on the line, you have a little bit of players that are kind of undisciplined. So he stays true to his gap assignment or gaps assignment, right? And he's rarely getting washed on runs, right? His leverage versus like he plays with a pretty good pad level, right? He has the athletic background. To be honest with you, he was a former track and field thrower at UCLA, showing impressive explosiveness, right? And he demonstrates above average movement ability for like. So if you're like in track and field, excuse me, track and field thrower, and like you have the athletic traits. If you're doing that, um, you have to be able to move those hips. You have to be limber, right? He's also while so he's not a pure pass rusher, right?
He's
But
not a
he
pass
can
rusher at all.
trying to be
No,
nice.
at
No,
all.
No,
zero
but he
point
can.
0.5, zero point
You
0.5 sacks in the last 4 seasons.
That's it.
you can see
That's
you
it.
can see you
He's
can.
a he's
The
he's
reason why I don't want to.
specifically a run stopper.
Yes,
That's what
he
he's
is.
brought here
He's a
for.
run stopper. He
That's what
will
he's
get
gonna do.
so close to that quarterback, but he just never. He doesn't. He like he. It's just he's like the Chidobe Awuzie of the line. You know how Chidobe Awuzie was like always right there, but he just never had that like you're like, dude, you're like right there. But you just if you just had that one half a step, right? And it's like right when he gets to the quarterback, he falls down, but like he causes that pressure. I'm telling you, he's gonna get a sack. Yeah, y'all keep playing.
He
He's gonna
probably
get a
will
sack.
get a sack next to Quentin Williams and Kenny
Yeah,
Clark. I
he's
mean,
gonna get a sack.
yeah, he probably
He's
will. He'll probably
yeah,
get another half.
but because of that, he
Half.
forces the quarterback off their spot. So like if you have a stationary quarterback, it's you can throw them off, right? You might have to go
Wow.
down to a check down, right? So which is you know, what I mean? But when it comes, he's this dude is ideal when it comes to the zero tech. He is like your nose tackler. He's there as Jordan was talking about to stop the run, right? Yeah, he doesn't have that many counter moves, if you will. Like, but he's a nose tackle. So I mean, you're there to stop the run, right?
That's it.
Um,
Yeah, that's it. That's all he's gonna be. First of all, I got an issue with the the him on the screen over there with 97. I think it's kind of disrespectful, Josh. Next time I'm gonna need you to
look, man,
put
I
him in
get
his
it.
old jersey at least. Don't put him in 97 in the Cowboys jersey.
Yeah.
Anyways.
See, that's wild right there. That's
Hey, that's
wild.
what
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
haven't
We
even
just
thought.
said thank you, Osa Digizua, and then he gonna go put him in the 97
look,
jersey.
man.
Like,
Look,
I didn't even
man.
think about that.
dang.
I haven't even
Uh,
think about that until you said it. Now I'm
I'm
like,
looking at it like, what the
oh,
heck?
wait a minute.
You know?
Wow.
Look, man.
Okay.
Look. I love
Jeez, look,
Odigizua
Josh is
too,
like,
man.
oh,
But
he's already out the door. Go ahead and give him his jersey. Jeez, bro.
and they've done that before with bigger players. So they've done that before with
Shoot.
Demarcus Lawrence. I think they had was it Demarcus Lawrence? They gave his jersey away. So
Wow. That is funny because I didn't even pay
That's
that
different
attention.
for Demarcus Lawrence because he had some comments. That's why they did that. But
Right.
anyways,
got a Super
Tito,
Bowl though.
yeah, he did. Tito is like Josh is saying, is a powerful interior guy who's going to be brought here to get to stuff the run. And again, Christian Parker, this DC Shoddy, they have a game plan. You can see their plan coming into fruition. It's all about getting guys who fit the scheme. They're not your A-list, football players, but they're the football players that are what smart, can communicate, and understand the scheme. And that's what Christian Parker. It seems like he's looking for players that are smart, can communicate, understand and execute the scheme, and that can be flexible. So that also means there are a lot of role players. There are a lot of guys who are just starters. They're not your Pro Bowlers. They're not your All Pros, but they're guys who do their job. And I think that's great because that's what you lacked last year. You lacked one guys who communicate, guys who understood the scheme, and you also lacked guys being able to do their job. A lot of guys did not do their job last year. Uh, so that's why I'm kind of surprised too. Another signing that we have that we're probably not going to really touch on, but we re-signed Sam Williams. So Sam Williams is brought back in. He's going to be your edge guy, another guy who understands depth, another guy who's versatile. So we'll see because Sam Williams will get a sack one play and then he'll get a false start the next play. So we'll see how he does
Jeez.
within Christian Parker's Christian Parker's system. Because then and he's a special teams guy too. So then he might have a big play on special teams and then might do something a little dumb the next play. So and then we gave up another reason why Tito is on this team too because we also gave up Salman Thomas. We traded Salman Thomas for a pick swap of a seventh round pick. Josh was really mad about that, uh,
He's a good
especially
quality depth piece. I mean, I don't understand
yeah, coming
why.
off right after you trade Sadiq Azul, then you trade Solomon Thomas. Who
And these were
knows
the
why?
two. These were the two players that when Marshawn Nealon passed away, they were like the 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 two players that was holding everybody together. Both those Osa and Solomon Thomas. They're the one that created like, hey, let's all put together. Like they were like the captains pretty much, that held everybody together. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's really sad, especially, and I think that's another reason why this team is kind of where it's at too. When we're looking at the team overall, like who's our edges, who's our pass rusher. Nealon, having rest in peace, passed away. It would have been great to see what he would have become. I think him and Ezra Rock, you would look at this team differently because they were both being really productive when they were both on the field together, and we never got to see that. So rest in peace to Nealon, Marshall Nealon. But I think that closes it out for the defense. Thank you, scouting report King Josh. He gave y'all he gave y'all a lot and some.
Yeah,
So one
that's
more
for sure.
topic, one more topic we can leave y'all with is we signed quarterback Sam Howell from what is he coming from the Eagles? He's coming from the Eagles this time. A gunslinger. So I guess we have another gunslinger, but he's not accurate at all. So I don't know if
Mitten,
Milton is going to be on this.
Milton,
Yeah, Milton.
Honestly,
Um,
Milton.
I
look,
don't know.
guys, that
I don't want to
I
carry three quarterbacks into the season. And then didn't we just sign old boy from the practice squad?
maybe I don't
I can't
know,
remember
but
his name,
it if
but
look, I'm confident in saying this, right? People are just gonna say like, oh man, like he's gonna challenge Joe Milton, you know.
Should.
It's not gonna challenge. Look, this Sam you want Sam Howell to be your backup. He's not like the starters of the world, but he's a guy that he can do some things. He can torch a defense if he wants to. And he has weapons like CD Lamb and
Pickens. Pickens.
George Pickens. Like you gonna want those players. Like trust me, like people I'm not trying to say there's gonna be a quarterback
yeah, you
controversy
need
or
your
whatever like
Cooper.
that.
You need your Cooper Rush. There's going to be a
Right.
quarterback
He's a
controversy for
better,
third,
way
for
better Cooper
second
Rush.
string.
He's a way better Cooper
A
Rush.
way better Cooper Rush. Hey, put some respect on Cooper Rush name. What are
That,
you
and
talking
that's what
about?
I'm saying. I
What are you
like
talking
Cooper
about?
Rush, and I because
Man, Cooper Rush gave us all some wins when Dak was out,
Yeah,
man.
Cooper Rush gave you a grip of
yeah. I mean
wins.
To the point
the
that no one
offense is
thought that
like
he was going to do it. I didn't
yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
I
he
will say
got
this.
signed and got a
I
little
will
bit
I
more
will say
pay.
this. He's more risk averse than Sam
I think
Howell
he's.
is. Sam Howell will put it
Oh
in some
yeah, yeah,
dangerous
yeah.
zones, right? But you know, you're not going to move the ball down the field as effectively with Sam Howell, but you won't get as many turnovers as Sam Howell. Sam Howell will give you some turnovers, but he would
He going
also
at it. He
sling
going
that
at
thing
it.
down
Yeah,
too.
he's going at it.
Like he's like the poor man's Fitz Magic.
I
You know
thought
what
you
I
about to
mean?
say.
I
I
thought you were
thought you
gonna
about to
say
say
poor
Brett
man.
Favre.
Yeah, I was gonna say poor man's Tony Romo.
Oh, wow. Because you said gunslinger, I thought you were about to go back to. Yeah, but
He'll
yeah.
do his thing. He'll do his thing.
But here's a question because this is what we're going to be getting into next week. We got all of the free agency so far, what we already picked up, and like Jordan said, Joshua gave a very detailed analysis of what we have on our squad so far and what we should be looking forward to coming up in this near season here. But the big thing is coming now that, and I know we always say this all the way. We always say this that we draft for the talent, we trade for needs. Is that right? So
Yeah, you
and
free
so
agency
I
for
think
needs.
free agency for
And
needs, draft pick for talent. So
yeah,
we got some interesting, folks to look at when this draft come up. I mean, we have what number
yeah, we want
12 and
to
number
follow too.
20. That 'cause that's going to be our most interesting.
And we got third round pick now.
And we got what now?
Thank you, Osa. We got third round pick too.
Oh, right. So we have
So we have
look
three top 100 picks.
right. So that is actually really good. That is really good.
And 2 of them are in the top 20,
Yeah, it's right, 12 and 20, right? So
depending
I'm
on
I'm
how
looking forward to
the
see
draft class.
who they go after. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see who they go after, and based on talent. And I know Jordan and you guys were going back on you should pick a need versus talent on this first draft if they come around to it and that person is still hanging around there. But we're gonna bring that up. We're gonna bring that up next week. And so we're gonna start talking about those who's out there available and what that draft going to look like and how we going to go about it. And I want to ask the question that what do you think what do you think the Dallas franchise going to do? But my boys told me it's not that would not be fair because we don't
I'll
know
tell
who's
you,
going to go before
but they're
number
gonna have
12
to.
get there. So who we will want for them to pick up. So that's what we're going to do next week. We're going to talking about who do we believe going to go out first? Who's going to be around when number 12 come, and probably be our best pick
I will
based
say
on that.
this. I'll give you a hint. We're all going to be down if Caleb's there.
Okay, but there it is again. All right, guys. This is what we want you to do. I want you to go hit that like button. Hit that like button down there. Hit that like button. And then also hit that subscribe button, man, and tell your friends, your Dallas friends. If they want some details of what we're doing, come on and check in. You guys take care. This is Bobby B and my boy Joshua and Jordan. There we is here. Setting it straight with fam.